Good evening, man. Welcome to the 221 Trap or Die podcast. I almost said something else. I got a lot going on, but this is Coach John, man, and it's honor to be in the presence of an esteemed NBA writer, Chi-Town's finest, man. We here, a loyal man, like a vibe brother, one of them brothers that'll help you in any situation. Pick up the phone, just young OG, younger than you, but OG vibes, but need you. He can switch the role up, be the young G vibes, and just one of the most brilliant basketball minds I've been honored to meet, man. My man, Brian Crawford. How you doing, fam?
What's good, family? How you doing, man?
I'm good. Welcome to the 221. I'm glad I got you.
Man, appreciate it, man. Appreciate you for having me, man. I'm glad to be on. I'm honored, bro.
So let's go out the gate. Chi-Town, South Side, West Side.
South Side, Inglewood, 66 in Marshfield to be exact. You know what I'm saying? It was cracking over there. We had 50s on the block way back in the day. You know what I'm saying? We was getting to
it. Yeah. Survival, just people don't understand. Like and I'm from Gary, and I tell niggas like, bro, I used to go to Chicago as a kid. Like, just coming home from school every day was a struggle because y'all on top of each other, bro, misunderstandings. Even the Hoopers had to have heart, bro, the football players. Mm-hmm. So even like, that's why a lot of dudes, the Chicago dudes would normally be squares in other cities, still stand-up niggas, can throw their hands and can peep game in other cities because we so war-torn from just making it to the stove. You know what I mean? It's just, It's a different mind. It's a different mindset. So even just salute to even just making it through that. So what's the trajectory? What allowed you to get into journalism?
Man, like my story started in like multiple parts, man. Like, you know, I went to school, went to high school or whatever, graduated, went to Jackson State, and I majored in English. But when I got out of school, I wanted to be a lawyer, but when I got out of school, like I wasn't really doing nothing that I had went to school for. You know what I'm saying? I was just doing everything else. And it was around, I want to say 2009 or something like that. I started to take it like, you know, just really seriously. I knew I needed to make some changes. I had some kids or whatever. And actually started a blog or whatever. And I was writing on that joint like every single day, man. I was writing on it like it was 1 million people read it. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't nothing but me, my homies, you know what I'm saying, my mama, you know what I'm saying, like that, whatever. But I was just getting to it. But I had put this little like map type app on there. And I started to see, you know what I'm saying, like it would like light up what people was reading. I started to see that people was reading my shit. And I was like, oh, okay. You know what I'm saying? And and I was writing it, editing it, you know what I'm saying, putting all my pictures on there, whatever, you know what I'm saying? The shit wasn't good, but, you know, I was consistent with it. Like I was committed, you know what I'm saying? And so, long story short, man, I ended up getting plugged with Slam Magazine. And like that was my dream because Scoop Jackson was like, the first basketball magazine I ever picked up, like I still got it, Slam issue #1 with Larry Johnson on the cover. And, you know, I started reading, I seen Scoop and, you know, found out that he was from the crib and like, he just became like somebody like that I wanted to be, you know what I'm saying? So fast forward, I get plugged with Slam, start covering the Bulls. And then from there started maneuvering into the sneaker world, Nike, Adidas, Under Armour, you know what I'm saying? Just, you know, working my number, you know what I'm talking about? And, man, I've been doing it for a long time. I've been fortunate to be in a lot of high level rooms, you know what I'm saying? Being at the draft, knowing people, making them type of connections, man. And, you know, just kind of building on it from there to where I'm at now.
Yeah. Congratulations on that journey, man. Like just to get in there, and make them move. So like, I want to take it a different place. Like, how did being a guy that's then saw some things, how did that help you when you started getting around certain NBA cats? Did that help you with certain cats from maybe like Chi-Town, Baltimore? Did that let them relax around you a little bit?
Oh, yeah. You know, like real recognize real. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, if you know anything about basketball, like, yeah, these niggas making millions of dollars. But they didn't start out like that. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
90% of them came from the same, you know what I'm saying? 90%
There's some niggas, man, the basketball dudes.
Right.
Niggas.
You know what I'm saying? They came from the same place we did. You know what I'm saying? So you be in these rooms and you see these reporters or whatever, and, you know, they'll spot you. You know what I'm saying? Make eye contact or whatever. And, so after the little media, scrums or whatever is over, you could pull up, you could talk to them dudes, you can get something that, them other cats probably couldn't get just because of, you being who you are and, them catching that vibe and like, all right, not only is you one of them niggas, but, you can hoop too. Like, I play basketball too. So, like, I speak the language, and hoopers know hoopers, just like real recognize real. So it was always a lot easier for me, to connect with guys like, D Rose and Joakim Noah, Kobe, you know what I'm saying? Melo, the real ones in the league, you know what I'm saying? So my experience on that side of the game has been beautiful just because of, me being who I am and where I'm from, you know what I'm saying?
Wow. So what year did you actually, from Slam, what was your first NBA season that you was actually on the beat?
My first NBA season I was on the beat was Derrick Rose, second year in the league. So I want to say that was that 2009, 2010?
I'm old, bro.
Whatever them years was. But that was my first one. You know what I'm saying? And so from there, I get up, I go to media day and everything like that. Like I said, I'm a hooper. I'm walking in the gym like I'm sizing niggas up. You know what I'm saying? I want to see like, all right, how tall is you for real? And that's when I got to realize like professional basketball players, the average professional basketball players is a very large human being. You know what I'm saying? And so not even just tall, but I'm talking about like just how they get you right, because all you're doing is you working and you training and your body just changed. And I was like, man, I could play, but like I just didn't I didn't have like that level of work ethic that you got to have to make it to that level. You know what I'm saying? So I understand and I appreciate guys that go through that grind because I had to did it, I had to do the same grind just, you know what I'm saying, in a whole different lane. But it's always, you starting from the bottom and you got to be consistent and you got to stick to it to get to where you're trying to go.
Now, I don't know if my memory serves me correct. Was that the MVP year? The second year, his second year, or was that the third year, fam?
Yeah. No, I think the second year. No, it wasn't. It was the third year that he won the MVP.
Third year, okay.
Because the first year, the rookie year, that's when they played Boston, and they took him, what was it, 6, 7, like that. So that was his rookie year. So it wasn't that next year, but the following year is when he sat up there, and I was there at the media day. He was like, "Why can't I be MVP?" And I remember that was crazy. I remember people like really looking at him like he was wild, you know what I'm saying? Like it was something wrong with him for him to be saying something like that. But I'm like, I'm from the crib, like I get it. You feel like, I know LeBron over here in Miami, but nah, you feel like you really him. You know what I'm saying? So why can't I be, the best player in the league? And like he ran with it. And I remember like that January, like I had called it. I was like, nah, man, he got it. And then a couple months later, my man Agray Sam, he wrote the cover story when Slam was on when D Rose was on the cover of Slam when the red away uniform with the red background. My man wrote that cover, but like that was an incredible season, bro. And it was just like I love to see it happen for him because he grew up 7 blocks from me. You know what I'm saying? Like we literally was that far away. And just to see him, be from Inglewood and I'm from Inglewood, and for him to win that award, man, that was love from the crib, for real.
Yeah. And it was so emotional. I was so happy for him, man. Like he's always been a guy he just represented that Chicago kid. He was quiet. He didn't take no stuff, but he just was a cool kid, fly nigga, like, and so all the personal attacks he went through coming up, and it was just to see him exhale and win that, man, like it was emotional. I was so happy for him, happy for y'all, for Inglewood as a community. You know what I mean? It was just it was powerful.
Man, I felt, what I'm saying, like all the hate that he was getting, people just talking bad about him, talking down on him. You know what I'm saying? I felt like an obligation to like protect this man. You know what I'm saying? Not just because, not just because he was from Inglewood, just because of he was from Inglewood and what he represented. You know what I'm saying? Like, we don't get out of there, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, for real, we don't get out of there. It's dangerous like that. You know what I'm saying? And, I know he done paid for funerals. He done did a whole lot of stuff in the streets for people, man, that don't even get publicized. So, when I see these outsiders, you know, I'm talking about him.
Yeah.
Man, I used to go hard for D Rose, man, and you know what I'm saying? That's my man for real. It's always love every time I see him. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah. So what was the best? What was the time where you was like, oh shit, this is really different? Like, was it when you first seen him? Was it Simeon? Like, was it something he did in the league where you was like, this nigga the one?
Now, I've been watching since Simeon, man. You know what I'm saying? Like coming up as a shorty. Like it was just, I think for me, it was probably that summer when he went up against OJ Mayo. You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of people, you know, a lot of people on the AAU circuit, they remember that. You know what I'm saying? It was a lot of dudes on there. Like he went that summer, like he came to the crib and it was like, you know, OJ had always been number one, you know what I'm saying? But it was like, oh no, man. Dude over here.
Yeah.
But you know, and then he go down to Memphis and then he come to the crib. But it was just like the pride that he felt, you know what I'm saying, just always, no matter where he went, no matter who he was hooping against, like he was gonna let you know that he was from the crib. And like for me, it was definitely that summer against OJ, man. I was like, nah, he different. Like different for real.
Different. Yeah. Extremely. Now we broached this on Twitter, but I wanted to ask you, and you kind of explained it. You was like, I always was under the impression a lot of people barbershop talk. We thought maybe Tibbs was kind of ran him in the ground, but you like, nah, fam, I was there. It wasn't really like that. It was a real, you know, fluid situation. So you really feel like Tibbs and that they kind of got the most out of that. It was nobody at fault. It was just kind of circumstances.
Yeah, no doubt. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
Tibbs is my dude too. Like I respect Tibbs a lot, and you know I hate them narratives that got put out there that, you know, he got people hurt and all this stuff like that. But I mean, at the end of the day, it's about winning.
Yeah.
And Tom Thibodeau was one of the winningest coaches in Bulls history. You know what I'm saying? Like he up there. Like you got to talk about him. Like he took that team from, they was like 41-41. That Vinny Del Negro year.
Yeah.
And then when he came, I think they won like 50-something games, then they win 60-something games, and the next thing you know, they're in the conference finals or whatever. So I will say he maximized everybody on that team. Like he had 3 All-Stars. He had Derrick Rose, he had Luol Deng, he had Joakim Noah. Like he had 3 All-Stars. He had Defensive Player of the Year.
Yeah.
He had MVP. He had the number one, you know what I'm saying, the best record in the East. Like, it was just something that happened. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was just something that injuries happen. You know, Derrick Rose with the ACL, Joakim Noah with the plantar fasciitis in his feet from wearing the Lecoq Sportif shoes. You know what I'm saying? That type of thing. So, it just happened, bro. Like, it was just an unfortunate incident. And I think what really bothers people, like at the root of all of that, is just the fact that I think people really wanted to see the Bulls win the championship. And they was looking for any reason, you know what I'm saying, any reason or any somebody to blame is the reason why they didn't do that.
Yeah.
Now, was it some bad decisions made? Oh, absolutely. You know what I'm saying? Like giving Luol Deng a spinal tap in the series against Brooklyn. It was ridiculous because he was sick. You know what I'm saying? That man almost died from that. You know, the way they handled the whole Derrick Rose situation from the ACL to him coming back and all this other stuff. You know, it was a lot of missteps. It was definitely a lot of missteps, but I mean, I think people should really appreciate that time for what it was. No, it did not result in a championship, but it definitely put the Bulls back on the map and made them relevant again. And like I said, it was because of that dude, Derrick Rose.
Definitely. And the redemption. But I want to broach into this. You know, I want to say R.I.P. Kobe. You one of the most adamant Kobe fans I ever met. Like your dedication to Kobe, like your appreciation for his game, the way you detail his moves. So let's talk about like your first interaction with Kobe and how that relationship developed.
Man, my first interaction with Kobe was actually, want to say, whatever that first season was, you know, that I covered the team and the Lakers came to town. And, you know what I'm saying, it was just, like, you see him and it was like, I don't get starstruck, fam. Like, it only happened like 3 times. You know what I'm saying? It was Michael Jordan, Dominique Wilkins, and when I seen Bean for the first time. You know what I'm saying? And the Lakers, they always came like either around like December or January, whatever. But he came in or whatever, and I didn't really bother him before the game. So I was just walking, taking videos. I got there early to make sure I caught like his workouts and everything like that. And it was just like intense, man. But
wow.
he didn't have a problem with me sitting there, filming him or whatever. I asked him a question about like, footwork or whatever. He kind of broke it down to me and got back to it, but he was real cool about it.
Wow.
And it was after the game or whatever. We all sitting around, we did our media scrum. We talking in the locker room, and it was like around Christmas. And I asked him to if he could wish my son JJ, happy holidays and Merry Christmas, on video, and he did that for me.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? And I was like, okay, he's super cool. So then, in the middle of all that, I met a dude that worked at Nike, who had a relationship with a person that was, close to Kobe or whatever like that. So I kind of, bridged that gap that way. But every time I seen him, it was just love. He was just super cool dude. He wasn't, when people talk bad about him, like he was nothing like that at all. Like he was maybe a certain way on the court, but off the court, he was just super chill, man. Bean was a real one.
Now it's 2-2-1 trap. I can't let that slide by. So I want the Kobe Nike connection. That was kind of, or was that already formulated, or was that the initial connection that started the relationship with Kobe and Nike?
Nah, the initial connection was just me. You know what I'm saying?
Wow,
the Nike
that's
thing
100.
kind of happened, like, you know what I'm saying? The Nike thing kind of happened just as I'm maneuvering. I'm meeting people in the game, and it just so happened that I met somebody that was pretty high up at Nike who had like access to kind of like all these dudes, and so that, that came later. But like as far as like me seeing Kobe for the first time, I ain't know nobody at Nike. I was just in the United Center, man, early. Make sure I got a chance to, see Bane. And it was, we had a little interaction, a little moment. Like I said, after that, we was cool. And then the Nike thing happened, and then it was just all love from there.
How intense and detailed was his pregame workouts?
Oh man, it was ridiculous. So like, if you ever been to an NBA game like super early, where like nobody's in the ring and stuff, like security, it's a lot of shit going on. You know what I'm saying? You might have the halftime entertainment, at half court doing their thing. You might have the cheerleaders out there doing their thing. And when Kobe would come out, dog, like it was just for 45 minutes maybe. I'm talking about nothing but just shots from over here, low, low block work over there, mid-range right there, one and two dribble pull-ups right there. Then he might shoot free throws for about 15, 20 minutes, but it was literally just him. He rebounded basketball himself. You know what I'm saying? He had nobody out there rebounding for him. Like, it was like that. Like, he was really getting himself up and getting going. And it was just intense, man. It was like just that focus. Like, if you ever seen Muse, when he's like trying to come back from the Achilles, and there's a scene in like where he's in the Brooklyn Nets practice gym, and he's just working out. Now he had rebounders in that, but I'm saying the stuff that he was doing, that was his workout, dog. It was like beautiful because it was precise, it was perfect. Like, he didn't mess up. You know what I'm saying? Like, and he knew where all his spots was, and he would get there, he would work them spots, man. It was just, and you see that, and when you play basketball, you understand like that's how and why he's so good. Like, he had mastered the game, he mastered his craft, but it was all of that work that he was putting in when it wasn't nobody out there but him.
Wow,
and that's how he did it, man. It was cold. It was beautiful to see.
Yeah,
I'll send you a video.
Okay. I'll be honored for that. Like, one of his quotes I got from him, I actually, for my son's gift to send to Weber State, I bought him the Kobe hardback book, right? I wrote some nice stuff in there, and I'm like, look, one of our biggest quotes was like, Kobe was like, yo, I get up 4 a.m, 3 a.m, get a workout in, come back, chill, take a shower, get a nap, eat breakfast, see the kids, get another one in. He said, then I go to shoot around. So he like, I done stacked up 10 extra workouts in a week over cats.
Mm-hmm.
So now you do that in a month. You do that in a year. I'm like, wow. And he was like, when I came to the league, I couldn't go to clubs, so I just grind.
Yep.
You know what I mean? So hearing you tell that story, it just, put that passion together. You know what I mean? So
yeah, man, it's just about the work that you put in when ain't nobody watching. You know what I'm saying? And I think a lot of people, and this just goes in all areas of life, like we see the finished product and people think it just happens like that for people. And that's how a lot of situations get derailed because they're not really understanding. Like before you got to the point where you was able to see him do his thing, he was doing his thing where you was no eyes on him. You know,
no lights, no
like
cameras,
nobody's watching, no lights, no cameras. That ball and it's just about the work. You know what I'm saying? And people like to skip steps, and that's one thing that he always believed in. Like you cannot skip steps, man. You can't skip steps. Ain't no shortcuts. You got to go hard.
Nah.
Every single time you got an opportunity to do what you do and do what you love to do.
Yeah.
If you love it, a lot of people don't love it, and that's another sad reality too. You got people who just play, you know, for the lifestyle or the money or the, you know, the attention that it brings. Very few guys that actually have that love and level of passion for the game.
Yeah, that's true. And I was gonna ask you real quick, like coming from the streets, right, getting into the league, you can instantly spot them young cats coming in that was on bump, right? Like, oh, this nigga's not gonna get a second contract. What are some of the if any of my former players are looking, shit, my son, any of the dudes that used to work out with me that's in the league, trying to get the league, what are some of the signs that you saw let you know this kid was finna fail?
About to fail?
What did you know this shorty ain't lined up right to let you know he ain't getting a second contract? Was it the work ethic, the attitude when kids came in the league?
You know, I think a lot of it is attitude, but honestly and truly, I really just think it's talent. You know what I'm saying? Like, by the time you get to the level where you've made it to the NBA and at least signed an initial contract or got to work out or whatever, you've kind of separated yourself from everybody else at the bottom. So, you know what I'm saying? That's nothing to actually look down on. But then when you get to this NBA level, you realize, oh, shit, now I'm in that same pool, but just with a higher level of player. You know what I'm saying? And so now it's like you got dudes above you trying to push you out. You know what I'm saying? And so when you make it to the NBA, you are a good basketball player, right? But to stay in the NBA, you got to be damn near borderline great at your craft. You know what I'm saying? Like to be able to make those initial contacts. And some people just don't read the game the same way. They can't keep up with the speed. They just really lack pro shit to be able to stick. You know what I'm saying? And that's just real. And so, it's okay to call that out. It's okay to call that out. You know what I'm saying? The NBA for everybody, but them dudes that actually stick and sign them multiple contracts, they are literally the best of the best at that level of the game.
Now, can your work ethic and your behavioral patterns as a young player come in, and that can definitely affect that, right? Like,
if you don't, you know what I'm saying, if you're not really putting in the work, you know what I'm saying, and if you got a bad attitude about it, they'll tolerate dudes like that, but you got to be great, like for real. Like you got to be great. I'm not saying they won't tolerate, but you can't just be a regular player with that type of attitude. You know what I'm saying? So,
they can't replace you.
Just like that. You know what I'm saying? They got somebody that they probably didn't want to cut, but took you and like, damn, we fucked up, so we got to bring these things back. But you know what I'm saying? But nah, man, like when you're a young player coming in the league, the only thing you really need to be focused on is working. You know what I'm saying? And doing what you got to do to stick. You know what I'm saying? It's about staying. It's about getting to contract 1, 2. I was watching a video today on Twitter. Thaddeus Young was talking. He's like, man, I'm on my 5th contract. He's like, you ain't got to be a 20-point per game player to stay in the league. He's like, but I work out 5 times a day.
Damn.
And I've been doing this every single day. Like before I got my first contract. And when I got the first one, he's like, the work, the second one, the work don't stop. He working out 5 times a day, fam. So that's really all it's about. Just the time you put in, working on your body, perfecting your craft, making sure you understand where you can be most impactful on the floor, on both sides of the floor. You know what I'm saying? Like you just got to work on those things so they just become reflexive. You're not going out there and thinking about it. It just becomes a natural, a natural movement, a natural thing that you do when you get on the court.
And that professionalism keeps teams sniffing around you.
Oh yeah,
they know they're going around. Yeah.
That's the other thing. They evaluate you as an individual. They evaluate you as a human being. They evaluate you as a man. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't know if anybody ever seen. I forget what interview Melo was talking about, like this whole background investigations that go on. You know what I'm saying? That type of thing. So they are, when they invest in millions of dollars into you, it's not just because of your talent. It's because of everything else that you bring, and will you represent this brand well? And that's really just what it's about. What type of person are you? What type of work are you willing to put in? What type of front face do you put on when you representing this thing that's called basketball in the NBA?
Yeah.
So you gotta when you thinking about going to this next level, you gotta understand it's way more than just your talent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. So give me a team you think this season, right, that can get to the conference finals in either conference that probably nobody's thinking of.
Ooh, that nobody's thinking of. Let's see. In the East, I'm thinking about this a lot lately, man, and I don't know. I could be sounding crazy, but Cleveland look like they got a whip over there. They look like they got
DG, we in the building.
GI,
we in the building.
But, man, you know what I'm saying? That's looking real silly right now. Like, I could be wrong, but I'm going to watch a lot of Cleveland basketball. I will say that.
But you got the front line, you got the shot blocking, the rim protection, you got the length. Evan Mobley's only going to get better. DG's going to be, he's out of here. You know what you got with Mitchell.
Exactly.
Who plays the three out there?
Who they got out there?
Is that the Okoro kid, the Georgia kid?
Yeah, Isaac Okoro.
Okay.
And
did they have Laurie out there? Laurie Marketing?
They traded Laurie.
They traded Laurie. Okay.
He's part of that deal. Yeah, he's part of that deal.
Okay.
But they got some young, hungry dudes over there, man. I like DG a lot. DG, he got Colin Sexton up out of there. Like, he was like, nah, man, this is me. I'm taking this right here. So I respect that a whole lot.
It's Gary, Indiana, man. We need a piece of that block,
man.
bro. Listen, we need a piece of that, man. It's GI. Ask somebody about Gary. We just need a little piece, a little real estate,
just a little piece. I got you.
So how do you see? How do you see DG and Donovan clicking symmetry wise?
I think it'll be. Honestly, I think it'll be way better than what he had with Mike Conley, because you know what I'm saying. Mike Conley is a different type of player. Like, he's more of a setup guy, but like, you got Spider and DG on them. You know what I'm saying? On the wings, they coming at you, Jack. They coming at you like, and they are not playing. And then
downhill.
No, man, what? I'm talking about, and getting you backpedaling a long way. You know what I'm saying? You off balance. And both of them will pull up on you and nail it. So, you know what I'm saying? You got that to worry about. Then, like you said, you got the young kid, Mobley. You know what I'm saying? You got the kid in the center,
Allen. I love him.
Yeah, man. Jared Allen, you know what I'm saying? You got him back there, rim protecting. So you got you know what I'm saying? You got a lot going on. They're going to be.
I like that pick, fam. I like that pick.
Yeah, man. They're going to be nice.
So I definitely 100% legitimately, I can roll with that. I sniffed that. I really don't have nobody else really besides them. I think I could even, you know what I mean, take that kind of gamble on in the East. What you got for the West?
For the West, it's a little tougher, man, because like it's just I don't know why, man. And I really don't believe in this team. I never have, but I just really think they right there, man. I think Denver might be a problem. I don't know. It's tough for me in the West, man. I ain't really figured that one out yet.
Denver just fucking disappoints me for some reason every year. And I love the niggas on that team, man. Yeah. Like Trill. Yeah, you look at what they did without Jamal Murray, and I'm not really the biggest fan of him. Because he, you know what I'm saying, he might give you 30 one day and then 12 the next, you know what I'm saying, for the next 2 nights. So, I'm not really a fan of that, but with a healthy, you know what I'm saying, Michael Porter Jr.,
him back in the fold, man, I don't know. That it's very intriguing. But like you said, they just such a disappointment, man. When you think they gonna do something, they just let you down. So now, I got to think about the West.
I got one, but I think now Memphis is my guy, so I don't want to piss him off. Like Bane them is my guy, but everybody's gonna pick Memphis. But I think if the matchup falls, however the draw right, I think Minnesota can slide to the second round, third round. They get the right matchup if they continue to get better. I'm not the most impressed with the coaching, but I just think that talent, that chemistry. Now they lost Pat Bev, but I just think Ant-Man's one of them ones, man. When I seen him as a kid in Atlanta, I just was like, yo, this little nigga different, man. He gonna be a star. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, he's gonna be a kid I always see getting better. So I need something from Cat. You know what I mean? Not the useless 50s. I need a couple of games from Cat.
See, that's gonna be tough because now he playing a different position. Now you got him at the 4, man, and like, it's some killers out there.
Yeah, it's some killers,
man. And he gonna have a problem with, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know, man. And and I like Cat. I think he's a great kid. I just don't. It's just something about him that's just missing, man. That just don't give me that type of confidence in him.
Now, I'm glad you brought that up as far as favorite players. I know I'm jumping this to trap though. I think I live in Indiana. A lot of people, the common people, don't understand basketball. I hate Paul George. Paul George is one of my most favorite players of all time, bro. I'm a big Paul George fan. I love his game. I watched him when he was here. His skill package, his skill set, battling the injuries, the OKC years, his demeanor. I mean, he took heat for saying he's supposed to win, but I'd be like, what do you expect this nigga to say? His skill defensively, I mean, even just taking the Indiana Pacers to 2 conference finals, you know what I mean? Come on, let's build this man a fucking statue, man. What are we doing here? And then, but what do you think, Mike? What do you think the Clippers can actually do this year?
Anything they've been doing. You know what I'm saying? Probably. I ain't say they've been doing. Probably get to the second round and it's over with. I
can't dispute that shit. Like, as much as I like that nigga, it's always some extra nigga on their team fucking up. Like, who is this nigga?
Right.
I didn't know y'all had signed this nigga, man.
Right. And it's the Clippers, man. Like, it's just, I don't know, it's just something about that team, man. It's like, no matter what they do, it ain't gonna happen.
Just ass, man.
It ain't gonna happen for them, man. It's crazy. I can't even believe it.
That 3-1 shit was some of the worst shit I ever seen. I actually was depressed for them niggas when they
Oh, so it made you sad. Oh my God. Like, hold on. Man, how that just happened? Like, that's gotta hurt.
Yeah, that's gotta hurt, man. Like, I'm a big. So, what about the Brooklyn Nets? What we doing over here, man?
Man, I love Kyrie. Man, I love KD. KD is another one of them. You know what I'm saying? That's my guy. Love KD, man. He's just, man, he another one of them, you know what I'm saying, super cool, like real ones. Like for me, like he up there with Ben. Like he like that.
Yeah.
Wow. I love them dudes, man, but I don't really see them doing too much either, man. I just don't think they got enough. I'm just 100% not a believer in Ben Simmons. I don't care what nobody say. I just don't. He one of them, like he one of them dudes for me, man. Like you could look at him and tell, like he just don't give a shit about basketball, dog. It's about get money and everything else for him, man. He just don't care. So as long as you got a dude like that on your team, man, y'all gonna
it is impossible.
Yeah, y'all gonna win some games. Y'all gonna be, you know what I'm saying, cool to watch and have people talk about all year, but nah, it's probably not gonna happen.
Hey, man. So G, you got zero confidence in Ben Simmons?
None, absolutely none. At all.
Hey, listen. Hey, shout out Rashad, man. Shout out Yoda, man. I love you, Yoda. I need y'all here. But Yoda used to be on my head like, yo, fam, you're not gonna win this race, man. This nigga's gonna let you down. I'm like, yo, I believe in this nigga. He can play D. Hey, look, I'm telling you, G, you're not gonna win the race with this nigga, man. Hey,
you,
I had to turn in my check stub last couple of years, man. You win, man.
Look, you got to think about it with this nigga, man. Like, he didn't, you know what I'm saying? He won a national championship in Montbird on a stacked. You know what I'm saying? That team was ridiculous, right?
Ridiculous.
But he ain't did shit since then. He got the LSU dog. They couldn't even get to the tournament.
Come on, man. SEC, man. You can't get a 9 seed.
Well, you can't get, man. And then as soon as the season's over, he drove his Bentley right off campus. You know what I'm saying? He out of there. I'm gone. So yeah, man. And then you get to the league. Your numbers been flat every single year, man. That same huff ass 16-8, man. You get that shit up out of here. I done seen you, man. I done seen you not like literally not play basketball while being on the court. I have just seen you out there playing. Like, so, you know, I don't believe it whatsoever.
How do you not work on the J, man? How do you not go right, bro? Like it's basketball, bro. You work on your weaknesses. That's what niggas do.
You live your life in the gym, when you supposed to. You know what I'm saying? But man, I remember when he came back to Philly, the nigga's out there with his phone in his pocket, and he got thrown out of practice. I'm like, man, see, that's what you dealing with right there with him.
Hey, but look, when my podcast was early, I wasn't national yet. I'm probably gonna replay it, right? I even said on here, man, I'm like, yo. I know I don't advocate violence. I ain't choke this nigga out, man. Like, man, hey, bro, like, what the fuck you doing, man? Like, that's that Australia shit, man. Like, somebody need to file you in your chest, bro. Like, this is not a game, man. You fuck with these dudes' career. And I'm mad because I'm like, Kyrie's generational, bro. That's like Haley's comment. KD's Haley's comment, bro.
The whole
battle back from injury.
Alien.
Yeah. And then, nigga, you out here on fucking Call of Duty at 4 in the morning, nigga, on Fortnite, man. What the fuck?
Right. That's what I'm saying, dog. That's what I'm saying.
So what can we do in Philly? Can we get, because what can we do in Philly?
Well, I'm just saying like this. The same way I feel about Ben Simmons is the way I feel about James Harden. You ain't going to win with that nigga neither. You going to win with him? He going to quit. He going to either quit or he going to let you down in the most important game of the year. And he has done it every single year since the finals in Oklahoma City. Biggest stage, he is small. Run it back. Just think about it.
Didn't he hoop out in the final OKC joint? He didn't hoop out?
Man, nah. He partied in Miami, man. He sucked that series. That's all he did. And that's his problem, man. Like, he liked to kick it too much, man. He liked to go to strip clubs and hang out with rappers. Like, he's been doing that his whole career. You know what I'm saying? So everything that you see from James Harden, like, when you see him out here, that's what he do, and that's what he been doing. And he's just another one to me who don't have that commitment to the game like that. As you know, as good and talented as he is, like, if he never won, it wouldn't matter to him at all. You know what I'm saying? And that's kind of like what you're dealing with. So when you're talking about winning championships, you got to have the right personnel. And there's a lot of dudes out here like that in the league. That's what I was saying early in the show, man. Like, you got people who really play because they want to be one of them dudes when it's all said and done. They want to have the championships. They want to have all the accolades. And then you got them dudes who play for the check. That's just the reality. You know, when the NBA, I was fortunate enough to come into the league, you know, on the journalism side, like right as it was transitioning from actual competition to what you have now, which is just entertainment. And so, like, the game is different, and that's why I don't really enjoy it as much. Is there competition in there? Are those guys competing? Yeah. But, I mean, like, the outside conversation of it is basically like a tabloid. You know what I'm saying? And these players hit their stuff, and a lot of them play to it. But that's what you're dealing with when you got a mix of a different group of guys. You know, like, you see it on the AAU circuit. You see guys who are super talented enough to make it, and that's kind of, and that kind of just seems to be what their focus is. You know what I'm saying? Just be good enough to get there so I can get those checks. And some of them are fortunate enough to stick in the league, but the attitude don't change. So you can see it.
Wow. And that attitude or maybe mentality is the difference between teams investing in players that get them to the second round and some that invest in guys like Giannis that get them to the championship. That that work ethic.
Yeah, it goes back to that. You know what I'm saying? You can. I remember when I saw Giannis first time he's a rookie, and I was talking to one of my media buddies. He was telling me, he was like, man, he gonna be the next one. And I remember watching him, and I was like, I didn't see it. Like I really didn't see it. Like he didn't. He was very long. He was very athletic, but it was just like it was things about him as a basketball player that I just didn't see. But from then to now, and I applaud him for the way that he figured it out. He's like, yeah, no, I'm not going, what I'm saying? I'm not going to be one of these dudes with this wiggle and, had his, the hezzies and everything like that. But what I can do is get stronger, use my length, use my strength to be able and get to the rim and finish. You know what I'm saying? And so I give it to him for that. I applaud him for that. But I remember having a conversation on Twitter a couple of weeks ago. I'm like, man, as great as he is and the numbers that he put up, let's be real. Like his entire package is he gonna straight line speed, bump into you, move you out the way, and then finish at the rim. That's his game. He's the best at it. But man, and I like Giannis, but I just, I look at the game. I try not to complicate it too much. You know what I'm saying? And just look at it for what it is and tell you what I see. And a lot of people disagree, but when you pay attention and you see it, I'm not making nothing up about it. But I love Giannis though.
Yeah.
He's a great dude.
Yeah. Straight line. Now, I don't want to skip over this. You made a statement. You said when the NBA changed to what it is now. So let's talk about what you mean when you say that change specifically, and when did the change occur?
I think the change probably occurred probably like around the beginning of like that Golden State run. When they was just shooting the lights out the ball. And I think for that part, then you start hearing conversations about, oh, well, let's add a 4-point line, or let's try to figure out a way to block the game into like a 2-hour block, so then we can get on to the next thing. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like you start hearing them types of conversations, then you start seeing the rule changes. Now you can't touch nobody. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Now, you can play zone defense in the league. So now everything is switched from emphasis on offense and defense on both sides of the ball to now on defense you scheming, and the way the rules are set up, it's just designed to run up the score. And I'm from the era of basketball. Like I want to see dudes like compete. I don't care if both teams score 100 points. Don't matter. You know what I'm saying? Like if you give me a good 95-88 game where I know the dudes went hard for 48 minutes, I'm cool with that. Yeah. But the way that they've sped up the pace and like they've been trying to drive with the score to what they say is increased fan interest. I don't know if fan interest ever dropped. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if we actually really needed those changes. Yeah. And I think it's also the way that they have changed the game to just make it more offensive. I think it's made fans of the game a lot less intelligent about it, because a lot of them didn't play. They don't really understand. They didn't really see the old era. And then, like I said, from the media side of it, they listen to these TV talk shows, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Your first takes and your Skip and Shannon and everything like that, where it's just all just debate back and forth. And you're not really talking about the game. Like you're not
substance of the game.
Like you're not educating your listener and your viewer on the actual game. And even if you try to, they wouldn't understand, because their mind is so wired to listen to this bullshit back and forth all day on TV, and then they go on social media and they do the same thing. They just don't catch it. You know what I'm saying? And so I think all of that, the way the league has changed the rules, the way the media has kind of wrapped itself around, this drama and this bullshit that don't have nothing to do with the game. You got people up there who actually know basketball, but get paid to actually not talk about it. It just to me it's a turnoff to me, because I remember when it was something different, when it was something more pure and more real about it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And I totally agree with that. I think it was a time where like I just feel like they turn that shit like sometimes some of it. The 9 well-coached teams just like open gym. You know what I mean? Like 15, 20 years ago, them niggas in the league, them '07, them Steven Jackson niggas, like them Pacers used to run around here. Them niggas hated getting scored on, nigga. Even against the Kings, they didn't want no bum ass niggas scoring no buckets. I was at them games, so it'd be like, man, this bitch ass nigga shouldn't be scoring on me. It wasn't no, you wasn't coming into Indiana from Sacramento when Jermaine O'Neal and them was here scoring up 127 points. It just wasn't. It wasn't tough nigga basketball. Yeah, like, so I missed them type of nigga, like the Bruce Bowen type, like, nigga, no, nigga, you not scoring on me. It's personal. The Tony Allen type niggas. You know what I mean? The niggas that made the game, that fought. You know what I mean? Like, nigga, yeah, I'm first team all defense, nigga. You know what I mean? Like, we just we need more of that, man. You know, it's just run, shoot. Everybody think it's layup three. You know what I mean? Motherfuckers don't love the mid-range. I'm like, niggas be tearing Zach LaVine. I'm like, Zach LaVine's a killer. I shoot too many mid-range. Man, we got too many nerds in the game, B.
And that's the other thing, man. You know, I've been at war with the nerds since day one. Like, I can't, you know what I'm saying? Like, straight up. When I came in the game, you know what I'm saying, the analytics thing was just taking off. And I saw that, let me say this, and I'm gonna be real diplomatic when I say this. There's a lot of people talking basketball today in the media that ain't got no damn business talking basketball anywhere on the planet Earth, man. And the only reason they in there doing this is because of analytics. And I'm gonna say that. That to me is the other like shift in the game that I really didn't like. And you know, you don't see it as much. It's not as prominent as much anymore. But it's kind of to me, stuff like that. Like, there's a reason why there was a cool table in the lunchroom. You know what I'm saying? I'll just make it real easy for people to understand that. Like, there's a real reason why there was a cool table in the lunchroom. In order to sit at that table, you had to be cool. It wasn't open to everybody. Like, it was an exclusive type of thing. You know what I'm saying? I think basketball was like that up until, you know, the advent of media, social media, and you could just kind of open up everything where everybody have a voice and opinion about it. And so it kind of ruined it from that respect, because I think fans today just really don't know basketball at all. They don't know basketball at all, man. Never play, just pick up the controller, play 2K, you know what I'm saying, listen to ESPN, read some articles and all, so you can have a conversation. Man, get the fuck out of here.
And I want to tell, hey, listen, if you on Twitter, leave this man alone, man. Like, this man Thumbs is gonna tear you a new one, man. He not playing none of that silly shit. You know what I'm saying? Like it'd be, you'll do a drive-by on a nigga with 82 followers. I'm like, bro, why'd you do this to yourself, man?
Man,
like,
I know, right? I'm gonna cut that out. So I got a rule now, man. Like, if you got 200 or less, I ain't gonna even respond to you. I'm not gonna bother. I'm just gonna block you. I ain't gonna even waste my time.
But you know, another advent to what you said, like, as far as the league changing, society changed too. Like, I tell people all the time, like, I'm from the 70s, bro. I'm born in 73. Like, I had a voice my whole life. When nigga you get project niggas try to go in your pockets. Like, when you had to mean something to have a voice. Like, so social media in the last 15 years in turn everybody into a blogger. Everybody got an opinion. Every barber is a celebrity barber. Every chick is a celebrity something, hairstyle, braider. Every nigga got an opinion. Jordan, LeBron, who winning this, my thoughts on this. So it's just like, they got to feed that phone. And it's like, bro, you couldn't even stand up in class and give a book report. Like, shut your ass up. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Like,
exactly. And man, go sit your goof ass down somewhere. Like, that's not you for real. Stop, man.
So before I let you get up, go ahead.
No,
I was gonna say,
social media, man, is the reason for a lot of, to me, like, it's the reason for a lot of mental illness out here too. People, like you said, man, people live in their phones. Man, go touch some grass, man. For real, get out.
Hey, listen, I know you follow me, and you lay low on the book. So, but like I told motherfucker the other day, man, it's so much untreated mental illness, man. Don't bring me your fucking dysfunction, B. I'm gonna tell it like it is. Don't call me with it, man. Don't.
Man, I got my own shit going on. I ain't got time for that, man. I'm gonna pray for you, Sam. You know?
I'm gonna pray for you and get that shit away from me. I got my own fucking problems, my own demons, bro. I'm not your trash collector for the shit, the simpleton shit you can't deal with, B.
Nah,
you know what I mean?
I
didn't come up out the mud to hear your goddamn Sally can't jump over the moon stories, man.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
I'm not with it. I'm not the one for that.
Not at all. So what can my Lakers do, man? What can we do this year?
Man, you know, I don't know, man. To them, it's all about health. Can AD stay healthy? Like at the end of the day, like he gonna have to drive it. You still got LeBron, ain't no doubt about that. But can AD stay healthy? Like he another one of them Inglewood dudes, man. I love him, man. Like from when I met him when he was in high school, when he was coming up,
Right.
man. But he just, he's always gotten hurt, always little injuries here, always little
Yeah.
nagging injuries here and there, or whatever. So like for him, it's just how healthy can he stay? When he's healthy, you already know what he can do, and
Right.
you know the type of player that he is. So I mean, I definitely think they will make the playoffs. I definitely love the Pat Bev, addition. And then the other question is, how are you going to use Russell Westbrook? To me, I thought that was a bad marriage from the gate because
Mm-hmm.
Westbrook is a dude who has to have the ball all the time in order to be effective. You can't take him off the ball and expect him to be the same Russell Westbrook. It's just not going to happen. And then you pair him with a guy like LeBron James who doesn't have to have the ball, but always has the ball. You know what I'm saying? So one of y'all got to go stand over here. You know what I'm saying? And it ended up being Westbrook. So, how they figure that out and integrate him is the other part of that equation. Is how do you utilize Russell Westbrook in a way where taking him off the ball, you still kind of figure out how to make him effective. So they got a lot of work to do over there. I mean, I definitely think just off talent alone they'll make the playoffs if they stay healthy, but how far they can go, I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just injuries, man. One thing about Father Time, he's undefeated. You know what I'm saying? Everybody know I'm a huge Bron fan. I think Brian gonna do what he do. AD can keep it healthy. I like the Pat Bev pickup. My thing with Russ is I always felt like they should have just gave Russ 4 to 5 minutes a half just to be Russ.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
I believe that.
If you got square peg, round hole, just take the square peg off the board for a while. Just let Russ just eat up Russ, just full speed, all the way to the rim. Because when he does it in indecisive moments, that's when it looks bad. But I'm telling you, like, no, this nigga's still a killer, man. Like, no LA nigga, this nigga's still a killer. It's just that the pieces are not fitting. You know what I mean?
Well, I think the way you do that is you got to take Brian off the floor. So you got to save him for later on in the season. So like you said, you got to give Brian probably about 7 minutes a quarter, and then let Russ rock for the other 5. You know what I'm saying? And that's how you kind of got to do it to make that work. But there's gonna be times, and particularly in the playoffs, where you're gonna have to have all 3 of them on the floor at the same time.
Most definitely.
Everybody got to be out there. So what do you do in that moment? How do how do you play that? How do you make that work? And that's the part they got to figure out.
Now, last thing, like I've gained so much respect for Steph Curry, the dynasty. You know how he's been playing this past season, just amazing. Can that train keep rolling?
I would say so, man. I think they got some killers over there. You still got Steph, you got Clay, you got Draymond. Those guys are older and experienced, but then you got some young dudes. I was not a big fan of Andrew Wiggins, but I think putting him in that situation completely changed him as a player. Like, that's what he needed. Like, he was never going to be that dude in Minnesota. Like, yeah, I'm here. All right, we finna do this. Nah, you got to put him around guys where he can learn how to be that dude. So I think that's a great situation. You got Kuminga over there. You still got Poole. I think they're gonna start giving Moses Moody some more minutes out there. He can shoot the hell out the ball. So you know what I'm saying? They are really, they got a good mix of, and this is what you need. They got a good mix of veteran talent and young killers over there that's hungry and ready to get to it. So I think they will still be a team. Them, and if Phoenix can figure it out, I think those will be the 2 top teams in the West.
Wow. Okay. I agree with that too. And the one thing I love about Golden State, looks like they have fun. You know what I mean? Usually it's a little standoff between the 30s dudes and the 20s. You got Dre, you got Steph. Dre's such a vibrant personality. You got so many dudes, and then the young dudes vibe with them, so they all get along. And it's like that kind of chemistry is what can help you put you over the top, keep you at the top. So.
Oh yeah, and they didn't. You know what I'm saying? They didn't really lose too much. You know what I'm saying? Like, they basically bringing the team back. And then I forgot about James Wiseman. We ain't seen him yet. You know what I'm saying?
Oh wow,
maybe a couple games. You know what I'm saying? So he's gonna be back too. So you add that element in there, man. It's gonna be tough over there. Them boys, I feel like they, for whatever reason, they kind of slept on right now. Outside of Golden State, everybody in the
Yeah.
world, in the Bay, definitely believes in them. But yeah, man, they deep. They got it over
Can the
there.
Memphis Grizzlies get to the finals?
You know what? I like Memphis, man. I just think they still too young. I really do think that team is still too young. Like they gonna have to go through it. You know what I'm saying? They're gonna have to go through them lumps and them bumps and them bruises. They're gonna have to go to wars with Golden State, talk that shit back and forth like they've been doing to learn how to get to that point. But I mean, they definitely got everything they need. I just think youth and just inexperience is gonna kind of hurt them a little bit. Same way I feel about Minnesota.
Yeah. Like, it's still that's the one thing I do love about the NBA come playoff time. Most teams, you still got to respect that gauntlet of the come up, the protocol, like first round, the heartbreak second round, third. So, yeah, I agree with that. I think Memphis had a talent, but I think they feel like they probably got to lose 1 or 2 more years and they're going to have a season like, you know what, fuck everybody. We win 67 games, and that's probably when Golden State a little older, you know what I'm saying? I could see that happening, yeah. That's a great point.
I mean, it could happen quick. It happened for D Rose and the Bulls. They went from bad to real good. You know what I'm saying? But coaching had a lot to do with that. But I think, the coaching staff and everything that we see in Memphis, I think they're going to be around for a while. So everybody in that situation, from the players, from the staff to the players on up, got to take their lumps before they get there. But they on their way for sure. They on their way.
I'm a big Trae Young fan. Trae Young. What do you think about the moves Atlanta's made with Murray, Young? How do you see that working?
I like DeJounte Murray. I think it's like I was saying about Spider and DG. I think you got two dudes who are gonna be coming at you super hard. You know what I'm saying? So you're gonna have to deal with that. DeJounte is a huge upgrade. You 6'5" out there on the wing, and he's attacking this last. You got Trae out there, with the wiggle and the shot. So I think they're gonna be entertaining to watch. I still think they're gonna have to take a couple more lumps too. Even though the East is gonna be a little easier road than in the West, but yeah, they're gonna have to take a couple more lumps. But I think as far as like their core, I think they got that. They're gonna have to figure out the John Collins situation. But yeah, I think they're gonna be all right.
Yeah, look, I love Trae to death. I love to see Atlanta get to the conference final. I just love to see Atlanta win a championship, but it's like the Clippers East. You know what I'm saying? It's Atlanta, man.
It's Atlanta.
I love
the Falcons. You know what I'm saying? You see the Falcons, and they gonna let you down too every single time. So Hawks will say,
Hawks brains. I love them niggas. It's just an epic disappointment fucking with Atlanta
every
sports
time,
team. So nah, man. I'm blessed to have you on, man. Give me 3 picks for Rookie of the Year, and then we out of here.
3 picks for Rookie of the Year. I ain't got but one, man. I think it's gonna be Paolo for sure. Okay. He's finna get all the touches in Orlando. Like, he's finna run it up. I wouldn't say that Chet Holmgren, but he hurt. He out. What's the kid? Jabari Smith in Houston.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Hard-working kid, Atlanta kid. I've been seeing him a while. Come from the Celtics. So he hard-working kid, stayed on the gun, man. When in Atlanta work at the kids. I think with the Jalen Green, if the offense is spaced out, he can get the kickouts. 3-and-D kid, he can put on the floor, get to the because he can shoot the shit out the ball. Guys just put some weight on him. I mean, he can shoot.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Beautiful
he can
stroke.
Definitely shoot. But yeah, he got, like you said, you're gonna have to get some weight on him. He got to learn the NBA game. You're gonna have to really take some lumps. But I think as far as like Paolo ain't gonna have that problem physically. Like, that's a gigantic kid. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like I said, he's gonna be pretty much unstoppable down there. So yeah, I got him.
Who does he remind you of? I've heard Melo comparisons, but I don't really see Melo. But I've heard Melo.
He ain't got that Melo game like that.
Right.
Man, who does he remind me of? I don't really know, dog. Cause like, he's really big. Like, that's a big dude, man. Like, and moving like that, game wise, probably maybe like a bigger, better in shape Derrick Coleman. Maybe minus shot. Cause I don't think he really shoot it like that. DC could really stroke that ball, man. But I mean, as far as like the way he get out there and do what he do, Yeah, nah, probably the
Just
same.
a big, relentless ass nigga, man.
Yeah, I would have said Big Dog, but Big Dog had that thing with him.
Yeah. Shout out to the G. Yeah. Okay. So we gonna tap back in, fam. This has been an honor, it's a blessing from you, man. What you got going now?
Man, I'm in Charlotte now, man. So I've been
okay.
I've been in TV news like the last 3 years producing TV news. So I'm at a station out here, you know what I'm saying, doing my thing, man. And I am back in the NBA city. I'm gonna get back out there and start doing my thing. The Hornets, you know what I'm saying, right up the street. So I'm gonna jump back in the game a little bit.
Yeah,
I'm excited, man. I can't wait to basketball season.
And I look forward to coming to see you. I got my brother Martin. He's in Raleigh, so I'm gonna be out there soon, man. I'm gonna tap in, come to a game, maybe go to Hornets game. We're gonna get some dinner or something.
For sure. I was just in Raleigh, man, a couple of weeks ago. Bro. Nice little city.
Hey, North Carolina, beautiful state, ain't it, boy?
For sure.
There's some pretty girls out there. That shit there get me in trouble. I can't be out there.
Yeah.
I can't be everything out there chocolate with pretty white teeth. I can't be in no North Carolina, South Carolina. Get me the fuck out of here. Give me witness protection. Get me out of here. I could not be out here, man. These girls are too beautiful out here.
Hey, man, the wise man knows limitations. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, my God, yeah. Fly me back to Indianapolis that way. Shit. Get the fuck out of here. All right. So, look, man, you tap in, fam. Please tell them the socials, man, where they can find you at on Twitter, social media right quick. Man,
you can catch me on Twitter, man, at BC is on my name, at B_CRA4D, man. Catch me, man. Y'all gonna see me out there, especially during basketball season. Man, you're going to hear my voice. I got to speak up, and tell it like I see it, You'll
get a lot of LaMelo games, too, out there.
Oh, yeah, man. I love that little young fella, man.
I love him.
He's another one. He's a killer.
Yeah.
He got it. Hey, I like his brother, too, but I like LaMelo. He cold.
Hey, I love it. Hey, and his dad, shout out LeVar Ball, man. You see this LeVar Ball. Hey, you 1-1. You kicked that dough down. I took that frame after you, bro. Like, I respect it.
Big time LeVar Ball fan over here, man. I ain't got nothing but love for that brother, man. I love him. Nothing
but. So, I think LaMelo one of them ones, man. That's gonna be a good one. So tap in with me, fam. God bless the fam. Let me know. Thanks for all your positive words to my son, man. You know what I mean? I always been supporting the trenches, telling me how special you thought he was, man. It mean a lot, man. That stuff helped me.
Yeah, man. Shout out to JJ, man. Hold it down on the Wasatch Front, my guy.
It's coming. All right. Much love, fam. Let me get this up and outy.
Yes, sir.
All right. Peace. Yeah.